Hey,
Hey, well,
we are recording.
we are. This is episode one of the Dead Battery podcast. Give us a little jingle.
Welcome to the Dead Battery Podcast. We take this hour to sit back and recharge. We know your batteries are dead, so now we're gonna fill them back up.
That is such a that is such a podcast voice. You have no idea.
I've been told. I've been told.
You have a face for radio and a voice for newspaper.
Face for radio and a voice for newspaper. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Well, there you go. Now you learn new
I would
things.
think it's the opposite. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Is it right or wrong? It's a different story. You get me?
I mean, I don't have a. I'm not very what they would say good looking.
Nah, come on. When I hear to insult you like that, come on. Oh my goodness. All right. In I don't know about this hour. You might have been overpromising just a tad bit, but let's see where this goes. Uh,
Well, I didn't say an hour. I said maybe 30 minutes, 45. I mean,
wait,
that's
ooh,
where we should. I mean, an hour. It's pretty lofty goals.
I'm going off the introduction, my good sir, for episode one, and we're already misleading people. Kind of a
Oh.
bit. Okay, all right. So give us a rundown. What is this podcast about? Because I have no idea.
Well, I don't really have an idea either, but that's why we're gonna figure it out. Um,
As we go
I
along.
guess you and I, we kind of went back and forth on what we wanted to do. Um, I personally, I don't like talking about heavy stuff. I don't like talking about politics, and I mean, if we want to cover some like more serious topics, we can. But I just kind of want this podcast more to be like a semi bullshittery, just to kind of shoot the shit type podcast. We can bring in topics or talking points that we want to talk about, whether it be some of today's stuff, which I'd like to talk about Gen Z humor and what was it? Just shitty B movies.
Oh wow, B. You kind of giving them a little bit of a
Well,
compliment over there.
I mean, whatever kind of bad movies we want to talk about, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
or we can just figure out where we start and where we want to go.
Of course, and I think my favorite movie that I've saw was this guy called Neil Breen. Have you ever heard of him before?
I have not, but when you sent me that stuff, I was certainly I knew what it was. Well, at least I've seen him before. I've I've seen I've seen a video of him, and it was a really not choppy, but it was an edited together meme. And I was watching the Pay Money Wubby video.
Uh-huh.
He was doing try not to laugh, and I'd seen, yeah, it was this picture of this guy with his goatee, and I was like, what am I? Who am I? And I was laughing my ass off. But yeah, when you sent me that, I was like, oh yeah, I've seen this guy before, and I don't know who he is, but I would love for you to tell me.
Well, let me tell you right now and take you down the Neil Breen rabbit hole. Whether you want to go in it or not, it's a different story, but he is basically an independent filmmaker, and which not that takes talent, that takes work, full devotion. More power to you, my guy. But his movies are goddamn the funniest thing I've ever seen, and they always try to be so surreal, or for example, I've watched what's it called? I think it's called Fateful Finding. And to be fair, I only made it halfway because I had other shit
Hmm.
to do, and I don't know it's because it's basically like a 2 hour movie. It's like an hour. It's like an hour and 40 minute movie. Uh,
That's commitment.
that's commitment. So imagine how many reshoots, shooting, and all that shit. Oh my god, dude, the acting was I want to say so amazing. Like let me give you from them. In the intro, you have these two kids, right? They're walking down a forest, and then they find for whatever reason a mushroom, right? Like a mushroom, right? And then one of the kids is like, "Oh my god, look, a mushroom!" And I'm and like he's pointing to the mushroom, right? They are both crouched down, they're right next to it. They point to the mushroom, right? And I shit you not, for a solid 30 to 45 seconds, we're in the exact same scene as it slowly transitions from being a mushroom to some fancy box. But the funniest part is it wasn't like a quick, it wasn't like a quick like that. You literally spend the 30, 45 minutes on this super slow transition. You can see the kids are moving. You can see somebody told the kids to stay still as if it's a freeze frame or something for 30 to 45 seconds. And I'm just laughing, bro. I'm just laughing. And that's the first 5 minutes, by the way. That's like the first
my
5 minutes, bro. The first
Lord.
5 minutes. And dude, the acting is so stupendous, bro. The acting is so stupendous. Like, hold on. Like, there's this scene where like one of the guy dies, and then this is literally his tone. I can't believe you killed yourself. I can't believe you did it. Oh my god, you did it. And that's his tone. That's his tone, right? Your best friend died in his arm, he got shot, whatever the case might be, and that is your tone. I can't believe you killed yourself. I'm like,
I can't believe you've done this.
no, what you did right there, that is overacting in his opinion. That is overacting. That's what you did right there. This
That's
man,
overacting.
dude, it is the funniest thing ever, and his website is amazing. He has, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 movies he's made since 2016, and I'm waiting on the 2020 or whatever next movie he's gonna make. Like, this guy is amazing. I really, if anybody's never watched him before, go watch him. He is amazing. Give me your money. I need more movies from him.
All right, I'll definitely check him out for sure. How old is this guy? Do you know?
Let me see here. He was born, I think. I'm not sure when he was born.
Let me see here.
Let me see. I do think he was. I think he's like in his 40s, if anything. Oh no!
I mean, he looks to be
No. He's in his 70s. He was born in 1958.
born 1958.
He's in his 70s. Holy shit!
Started his career as a real estate agent, an architect in Las Vegas.
That's exactly.
Well,
That's why we gotta give him more money. I need more movies. I need more top good quality movie. Fuck your Top Gun. Screw all these like new movies coming out. This is the ones I care about.
I mean, speaking of Top Gun, I went and saw that again for the second time last night.
Oh, the second time. I didn't even watch it for the first time.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's so. I will say, Tom Cruise,
That man's a vampire.
removing all of his personal beliefs aside, that man can make a damn good movie. I mean, he has a super hardcore, bordering on like obsessive compulsive commitment on making films and doing like real stunts, and he commits hard as shit.
That's because he's a vampire. I'm telling you, you have no fear to like be strapped inside of a plane if you know you can fly your way down. He's a vampire, straight up.
He's a freaking daywalker. But I mean, like some 90% of all of the F-18 flight stuff was real.
Yeah.
And I respect his commitment because it shows in the film. And I mean, I went and saw it with a buddy of mine, and I mean, that was his first time seeing it, and they had just watched the first Top Gun just a couple days before that, and I mean, they could definitely tell the difference. And it's very whenever they are taking off and flying, you can feel and you can see the compression on their faces when they're pulling, 4 or 5 Gs, and it's an insane film, and I think it's honestly better than the first one.
Wow. See, I never watched the first one, but I know it's a classic, like Independence Day, District 9, like it has one of those, sort of grasps on people's heart, and for you to come out and say that, that's a very big claim. Granted, I've never seen it. You could be right. You could be wrong. I'm not a Top Gun person, but that's a big ass claim either way. Do you stand by it?
I will stand by it. I watched a video. I like to watch video essays after I watch a film, and I like to get like more context, more more. I like to go into like deeper themes and everything of a film. And I saw a video of why Top Gun is perfect, and I forget who the creator was, but it's this nice 20-minute long video, and he explains, not only like why the stunts and everything make it better, but just like the maturity of the story, and like the characters are a lot more mature, and it's not, and I really appreciate that, and I definitely see how it's much more mature than the first one. My dad may disagree. I mean, he was 15, 16 when the first one came out, and he eventually joined up with the National Guard, Air National Guard, and he's I mean, that's one of his favorite movies,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, let me ask you this. How do you feel about the maybe the rumor, maybe the fan theory, whatever the case might be, that Top Gun is a movie about homosexuality? I'm sure you've heard about that, right?
I've heard of that. I would. I don't know if it's like it's. I can't tell if like I should be saying but I would definitely agree that there's a lot of bromancing for sure. I mean,
But come on now, there's nothing wrong with bromancing. We're guys
No,
here.
no.
We know what a bromance is, and if the
I mean, that's what you and I have.
exactly. So if the majority of people, go over there, and and let's assume that 50% of of anybody who's watched Top Gun is a guy, right? Let's assume if that majority is over here saying it's a movie about homosexuality, and they're guys, they know what a bromance is, know what a bromance is not. If they go and say it's a movie about homosexuality, I am very inclined to believe it could be a solid possibility. Obviously, not shove it in your face. This character's gay or whatever the case might be. More of a subtle thing, like a very you gotta read between the lines type of situation. But if they're going over there and they're reading between the lines and that's what they get, I'm inclined to kind of believe it. To be fair, I never watched it, so I'm just going off what I hear, and I did hear a couple cases. A couple of. What's that guy? Guillermo del Toro? I think that's a director, right? Who made Django, right? Yeah. So that guy, he
Not. Are you talking Guillermo del Toro, or are you talking Quentin Tarantino?
Quentin Tarantino. There we go. I always get them confused. There we go. That guy. I don't know where he was. I don't know if it was a like a TV show or a movie or whatever. Because sometimes he puts himself in his own movie. So I don't know where the hell I saw this clip. And it was a clip where he literally spent the entire time talking about why Top Gun is gay, and he made some valid points. He made some once again. I've never watched the movie, so I don't know where he's coming from and what he's specifically pointing to. But he made some very solid points from my understanding of the movie is, and now I'm questioning it. And I'm a bromance guy, so now I'm questioning it that maybe he has a point.
Yeah, I think, and I believe that was in Pulp Fiction, where Vincent and Jesus Christ, my dad's gonna kill me for not knowing the characters. But they end up going to Quentin's character's house because they shot Marvin in the face, and they need the car cleaned up. And he sits there in his bathrobe and he explains basically why Top Gun is a movie about homosexuality. And I would certainly say that there's a large degree of bromancing, and I would tend to agree with the some sentiment that the real romance is between Maverick and Iceman, and not
Yeah.
the female lead. I'm sorry, I forget her name.
Kelly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. And then what's interesting about this new one is that Val Kilmer does appear in one scene, and I don't know if you know what's been happening the last couple years with him
No idea.
at all.
Please explain. No idea.
He, I believe he went through, and I don't know if he's still dealing with it, and I apologize. I don't know if he's still dealing with it or if he got through it, but he had throat cancer, I believe. And so he can't really speak anymore, as far as I'm aware. But or it's very hard to for him anyway. And he made an appearance in the film, and they actually worked that into Iceman's character. And spoilers, by the way. And I think they did a really good job with bringing him in. And then I need to do a little bit more research to see, how Val felt about his role in the film. And I'm sure, I mean, obviously he did it. So, but I'm thinking that he loves, being back with Tom Cruise just for that one brief scene. And I'm sure, I would definitely, when that movie comes out on Blu-ray, I'll definitely pick that up for sure.
Right. Well, let me see here. I was able to find out what he said, so let me read it back to you. All right. So,
Oh, nice.
So I think it was in the movie Sleep With Me. I believe so. Not 100% sure. Okay. So he says, "You've got Maverick. All right. He's on the edge of him. He's on the edge, man. He's right in the fucking line. All right. You've got Iceman and all his crew. They're gay. They represent gay men. All right. They're saying go the gay way. Right. Go the gay way. He could both ways. And Kelly McGillis. She's heterosexual.
Kelly McGinnis.
Yeah. Oh well, no, that's Terry McGinnis, sir. The Batman.
Oh, sorry.
It's McGillis. So Kelly
Okay.
McGillis, she's heterosexuality. She says no. Go the normal way. Play by the rules. Go the normal way. They're saying no. Go the gay way. Be the gay way. Go for the gay way. All right. That's what's going on through the whole movie. And that, to me, honestly, sounds very, very cool. Like a movie where like I would watch it literally just for that scene, just to see if it's true. Like that, his quote alone makes me want to see the movie. I've never had any sort of aspirations, any sort of feelings or anything like that to go watch Top Gun, but literally just that quote makes me want to watch it because I want to see if what Quentin Tarantino says holds any light to this theory. So
With any water.
yeah.
Yeah. I would tend to somewhat agree with that sentiment for sure. Yeah, I mean, all around, both of them are good. I personally like the second one better. I'm not gonna.
That's a very controversial statement.
I don't know if it is though. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just over here playing devil's advocate, so don't mind me too much.
Oh.
Okay. So there is. Okay. So I guess the first episode is all about movies that we watch and talking shit. So there's this movie I watched called Molly's Game. And it's on Netflix. And what it is basically a movie
Based off of a Stephen King novel.
I'm not 100% sure. So.
Oh wait, no, Molly's Game.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're talking about the other one, the the one where she gets like trapped in ropes because the guy was trying to like. Do
Yeah. Yeah. No. I remember which one you're talking about now. That's got. What's her name? Chastain. Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. Not the other one, okay? Not the one where she gets like trapped like in ropes and then the guy gets a heart attack or something like that. Not that one.
Yep.
Not that one. So this one. So it's basically about this girl. who goes to LA. She takes a break from being a lawyer. She goes to LA. She takes a shitty job, and through that shitty job, she's able to get the ability to kind of host, quote unquote, poker parties where major players come in and they start playing poker. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Ever since watching the movie 21,
Mm-hmm.
I've been itching for a good poker movie. I was itching so bad. I watched the James Bond Casino Royale movie,
Yeah.
and I skipped everything, and I only strictly watched the poker parts.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a 2 hour.
Really?
It's like a 2 hour movie. The poker parts were like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I skipped everything. Didn't give a shit. All I cared about was the poker scenes. So
I will say, I mean that the Casino Royale, that's the only Bond movie I've seen front to back. That I mean, it doesn't even really feel like a Bond film.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the new Bond guy, whatever his name is. I don't care enough.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that guy. I don't like that guy too much. I don't know why. I don't know if it's his face or because to be fair, I've never watched one of Daniel Craig's movie back to back. The only ones the only ones I remember seeing was with my dad with Brosnan, Pierce Brosnan. To me,
Pierce Brosnan.
yeah, to me he's the original James Bond. I played all his games.
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. This game where it's like a PS1 game where you're James Bond, but like you're just in a car the entire time that can like shoot rockets. Like you never see his face. Well, correct. I'm sure you see his face in movies. I mean, in clips and stuff like that. But like, you just spend the entire time in a car and you do car stuff like blow up. I don't know, like gates and shit like that. And yeah, he had a PS2 game too, and yeah, dude, like that to me. He to me is the original James Bond. Like and I know James Bond is an old ass fucking character, right, from like the 1962s type thing, but he to me is the original James Bond, and I really enjoyed him. But anyway, what the fuck does that have to do with Molly's game? Nothing at all. Random bullshit. So going back to Molly's game. So yeah, so I've been itching for a good poker movie, and to me that was a very enjoyable movie. It was and it's just to give you the rough rundown. It's basically a movie where, right, she gets a shitty job. She starts becoming through that shitty job, she's able to quote unquote host poker games, and through the entire movie, she's kind of hosted them. You see people come in, and you see, honestly, in my opinion, what was a very good, maybe not very good, but a very subtle / interesting part of a gambling addiction, right? Because the movie focuses on her, and it also focuses on some of her clients, and what doors they can open, how if you get really deep into shit, how scary it could be and stuff like that. And one of the scenes, there was this guy, right? He was your average, he wasn't like no championship, 5-star, hotel type of poker player. He was a very average guy, and he got invited, right? Because she likes to stake out her clients and see, who's really worth of coming to her game. So he gets invited, and he really starts, he's the poker player you don't want. That the hotels don't want. He's the poker player who knows when he's gonna lose, he folds, right? He doesn't make any major bets. He tries to be careful with his money. He doesn't really go balls to the wall,
So he plays it very kind of close to the chest.
Yes, exactly. And then there's this, and ironically enough, there's this one guy who sucks horribly, who's like, oh, I have absolute trash card. I got a high, let's say 5. I'm going all in, baby. Like the guy who totally sucks, right? And
Sounds like me.
yeah, 100%. Sounds like me too.
I thought you were gonna say that sounds like you too.
Nah, sounds like me. Straight up, we cannot go to any hotels together, any casinos, because we're gonna get royally screwed. But anyway, so the close to the chest guy, he starts, he starts going through his mind. He's like, oh my god, this guy's like, I don't know, scratching his face. That's his telltale sign that blah 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 is happening. He's just going through the whole poker thing. Was trying to read the guy. He's trying to read the cards on the table. He's trying to read the cards on his hand. He's trying to like do everything in his power to see if this, and it's only him and the guy who sucks, and he's doing everything in his power to see if it's a card he's winning. Now, to be fair, the guy that sucks has no idea. He's never he only plays poker like super casually with like friends. He has no idea what the telltale signs are. He has no idea what he should be betting. Like he has no idea. He just sucks. So the close to chess guy, he doesn't know that. He assumes he's a good player because he's here with like rubbing shoulders with all the other great players. So as I said, he starts reading all the signs and whatever the heck, and then eventually he's like, I think he's lying. I think I could win. Blah blah blah. So he goes all in. So this is a guy who sucks, and the guy who sucks wins. That's his only game that he's ever won. He wins. He wins, and that throws the close to the chess guy like for a loop to the point where he starts not caring about money, not caring about any of his other things that let him keep his money and all that. He starts playing like a loser. He starts betting when he shouldn't bet. He starts folding when he shouldn't fold. And
Jesus.
yeah, and through the movie he gets like I think like $500 or so thousand in debt. And mind you, he's an average Joe Schmo like you and I, like like he doesn't really have like that kind of money. And he tells her, he's like, hey Molly, I don't have that kind of fucking money. And it's a very interesting point because what do you do in that situation, right? What do you do? Like, what can you do? Because obviously it's not an official casino, so she herself does not have the money on deck to give to the winner, and then she collects it from the guy. She doesn't do that. She lets the individual people pay what they need to pay. And in my opinion, I feel like that's a very shitty thing to do because what if they don't have the money like in this situation, right?
Yeah.
And basically, her right hand poker player, right? The person who gave her all the people, the person who's kind of been like in the background, who he pays the debt. He pays the guy's debt, but then now the guy owes him with like interest that he can never pay off. And that to me, yeah, and that to me is a very like that scene to me specifically sticks out because not in the sense of like specifically for poker, but just in general life. Like we get credit cards, we get cars, we get houses, we get the I don't know, the next new Gucci belt is an example. I don't know. We get we get all these materialistic things to make ourselves feel better.
Gucci gang.
Gucci gang. Screw little penis pump. But we get all these things, and that to me really struck a chord because because I never want to be into debt. Like I don't have any financial aid, debt or anything like that. I don't have any student loans or all that crazy shit. So
You're lucky.
I know. It's a very rare thing to say in that nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. Having any kind of debt hang over you really is it puts stress on you. And I mean, I've got some student loans, and I've got a car that I'm paying off right now, and oh my god, they kind of fucked me over. Unfortunately, my interest is at like 15%, so I'm paying like $500 a month for this thing. No. And to be fair, I mean, I'm not.
To be fair,
I don't have.
You're not paying $500. You're paying maybe like 200, and the rest is interest, dude. Like that hurts.
Yeah, no, but where was I going with that? Yeah, I'm new to the credit game. I should have started when I was 18, as soon as I could get a credit card. But I really wanted to stay away from credit cards because I was just kind of scared of them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, since my credit was like so new, yeah, that's why they kind of fucked me over.
Dude, yeah, dude, credit sucks, dude, because you can't be a credit ghost, which is basically when people who don't have credit, right? People who've never gotten a credit card or anything like that, like who's always paid cash, who's always had the money, right? Maybe instead of getting the new 2022 whatever car, you get a 7 beater, and you can pay that cash, right? You can't be a credit ghost. You can't be a credit ghost in at least in America. You can't be a credit ghost because credit is everything, and I don't understand why. Why do you like to say, hey, this person has debt, maybe ridiculous amount of debt, but they're making their monthly payments. It's like, wouldn't you prefer somebody without debt? But I don't know. I don't know. To me, that's something I had to learn because I was very anti-debt. I don't want to get a credit. Literally got my credit card like 2 years ago. When I was like 22. So then, and thankfully I didn't have my credit card at the point in time when I was a snot-nosed brat and probably would have spent it all on games or candy or whatever the case might have been, and really got into debt because I know a couple of people like that who went balls to the walls with like their credit card and started buying shit maybe they wanted but didn't need, and now they're on the hook for that money. So and that.
Oh, I was just gonna say, credit cards. I was always told, we had. I don't know if you guys had this in school, but I can't remember exactly what it's called. But we had like one day a year, every year in like elementary school, where these financial guys, they would come in and they would basically, make kid-friendly games and programs and make a day out of it. And teach you about money and how to save it and about credit and all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just I personally I like to keep away from that stuff just because it's kind of scary, and I hate I'm not gonna say it like I'm anti establishment capitalism type stuff, but I don't like the system because it's so predatory on especially people that don't have money, that don't have a whole lot of income, and it just screws you over.
Yeah, dude. Especially when as a major corporation, as a bank, as a credit card company, as whatever the case you are, especially when you're incentivized to basically have exponential growth, where like your company has to keep growing every month. You gotta make your shareholders happy. You gotta, reflect it in the quarterly earnings that you're making more money than you were yesterday. Like all these things get more and more predatory because we're not drawing a line anywhere, and it's like the one company that comes to mind and is Apple, which is in my opinion, funnily enough, because what did they used to make? They used to make phones, right? Great phones, amazing phones, wonderful phones. Okay, bam, great, awesome, possum. Here's your phone, bye bye. But you used to get everything with the phone. You used to get a charger, headphones, the cables, and look where we are now. Now they're no longer doing that. Now, it's all about the whole, make the economy more green. We save, on green and all that jazz by not giving you a fucking brick. And I'm like, I've only had an iPhone when I was in high school. And it was like the iPhone 6 or 5 or whatever. And I love that phone. But then I went to Android, and now I'm a fully Android person. I don't like iPhones like that. But what if I want to go back to being an iPhone guy? Then where's my brick?
Yep.
Where's my brick? And the funniest part is through that, my opinion, corporate BS. They started literally wrapping and using more, using an entirely different box with wrapping and all that jazz for the brick. I'm like, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Why? Because they need to show that they're constantly making money.
Yeah. Apple, I mean, they're now a powerhouse in the industry. One of the most wealthy, companies and most profitable companies in the world. And I don't know if it's like ease of access or how they tend to innovate. I haven't done a whole lot of research as to like the upbringing and all that stuff. I know a little bit of Steve Jobs and just like how he liked to push push everything and
right.
and himself and all his staff and everything. But it's just it's interesting to see the cultural footprint that was brought down with Apple.
Yeah, yeah, and I think the um the crappiest part is everybody's looking at Apple, right? Samsung's looking at
Mm,
Apple, LG's looking at Apple, HTC is looking at Apple, everybody's looking at Apple, right? All these phone companies are looking at Apple. And they're and what they're saying is what can you get away with, right? Like what can Apple do that after maybe giving it maybe like a year or a couple months or whatever the case might be, that everything blew over, right? Because they're basically saying, Apple, you go over there and you take away the headphones, you take away the brick, you take away the headphone jack, you do your
mhm.
crazy Apple stuff first. We'll see how people react. There might be a crap load of backlash in the beginning, but after you subside, because you know then then we'll copy it, right? Like Samsung, they took away the headphone jack, right? That was their big
Mm.
selling spiel when Apple originally took away the headphone jack. Oh, we have a headphone jack, blah blah blah. They were making fun of the notch, and it's like having it's like I don't know if you're an only sibling, but I have a brother and a sister. It's like, and I'm the oldest, so it's like your first child and your second child. With your first child, you're super cautious, right?
Mhm.
You make sure they don't fall. You give them everything. You always put
Yep.
you like you make sure your first child is super protective, right? You basically have them in a bubble wrap for like their entire life. And the second child,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you fell and
You're
you slipped.
basically
Yeah.
you're basically like, oh, they could stick a fork in an outlet and they'd be fine.
Exactly. Oh, be like, oh no, Tommy, don't stick that fork in the outlet. Oh no, Jimmy, my first child, what are you doing?
um, yeah, I've got three sisters, one older, two younger. And yeah, it's interesting to see, because obviously I was never aware of that overprotectiveness,
Mhm.
and my parents were always, you could basically, you're okay to do, uh, do whatever.
Just come back alive.
Just come back alive. Yeah, and I was never the type to, I wasn't the rebellious, like, like I hate you type, kid. Um, and they always were able to trust me enough. Like I started staying home by myself when I was like, I want to say like 12 ish,
Oh wow.
which may or may not have been a good idea. Um, but yeah, like they would be able to leave me at home for maybe like a night or whatever, and then eventually I would be left alone the entire weekend when my dad would go off to military duties, and my mom, she'd be out, I think, doing the same thing. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, it depends on your order and how your parents, how they the reaction, I guess,
Hmm.
how they were raised, and that influences how they like to parent, and what they like to teach you, and what they kind of instill upon you, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I think on that side note, my good sir, I believe we reached way past our mark, which is great. Wonderful first episode, don't you think?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, and we'll eventually, kind of figure out where we want to go with this. But I kind of like just bringing in,
Random shit.
going from topic to topic like that,
Of
and
course.
for sure. I mean, because obviously, like I said, I don't like talking about heavy shit, and I don't. My opinions are,
Your opinion,
not
yeah.
very. My Yeah, and I mean, people can go elsewhere for heavy, if they want to
Of course.
talk about that stuff, or if they want to.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part, bro. We'll just do us. We'll see what's funny, what's trendy, what things we want to talk about, and I'm sure maybe eventually we're gonna like maybe one or two heavy topics, but like we're not gonna be a full we're gonna be more random BS than ever heavy, which is fine. Which is fine. It's amazing. We're gonna eventually find our own groove, see what we like, and see what happens.
Yeah, Yeah, I honestly I can't wait to see where we go from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun ride for sure.
That's gonna be so much fun. All right, so I'm gonna put you on a spot and give us an outro.
Well, thank you for listening to the Dead Batteries podcast. We hope you enjoyed. Listen to us. I believe we're gonna try and put this out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a few other places to start. Links will be in the description once we get the YouTube up and running. But as for right now, we hope your batteries are filled up
Yeah.
and you can get back to the day.
I'm sorry for your loss. All right, and